Hello, I'm Bill Wagner, and I am interviewing Joe Guadagno, who is one of the candidates for the .NET Foundation Board of Directors in 2022. So, Joe, I'll ask you to introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Joe Guadagno. A lot of people know me by the name of Joe G. I've been in Microsoft Technologies for, to date myself, 25, 30-ish years now.
Okay. I think I first met you at the MVP Summit when you ran a great session to help new MVPs get oriented and learn about the program and learn how to interact with people there. I
Yeah,
think that was really useful for a lot of people in the community.
yeah, it's kind of sort of funny how it started. My first MVP summit in 20, I don't know, 2010 or less. It was actually probably 2008. I attended this summit and I spent most of the nights inside my hotel room. Like we finished the sessions at 5 or 6, and I went back to the hotel room. And I learned on like the Friday I was leaving that there were all the other events that
Mm.
happened, which was like the real meat and potatoes behind the summit. So I decided after that to put together a event to help all the people that were going there to learn about all the other things that were happening to help with the community and building up some of that recognition for the people that did not know.
Yeah. I think that helped build a lot of connections among a lot of people too, which was really,
Yeah.
really useful, I think. So you're running for the .NET Foundation Board, and it's a 2-year term. What goals do you have? What do you want to accomplish? And if you make it onto the board and you're there for those 2 years?
So I think the biggest thing that I want to try and accomplish is to get more people involved with .NET and the framework, not so much for the hey contributing, to the .NET code base, but more so understanding and helping to promote it. I think one of the challenges we have in .NET right now, or at least a framework, is that there are lots of opinions on it as far as what's good, what's not good, why we should use it, why we shouldn't use it, and it seems to be very, um, very one-sided. It seems like a lot of people that want to use it have been always in the quote unquote Microsoft
Mhm.
camp, and I think there's a lot more power to the .NET framework, especially in the last 2 3 years with uh, moving things to Linux and the Mac, and the more push for the open source awareness. I want to help to try and bridge some of those gaps within the other non-Microsoft
Mhm.
toolkits. Then I want to help to expand the community. Like you said, Bill, you and I have known each other for a while. One of the things I'm huge on is community, which is why I've been part of the membership committee for 3 or 4 years now, because I want to help connect people together. And I think that part one of the things I'll bring in experience, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a little bit, is the ability to connect the dots or to be able to help translate from user to consumer to business a lot.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. That's one thing we noticed as well, even working in the foundation and working with Microsoft in the open source projects. We've even built better connections with a lot of the customers, not even necessarily always with pull requests or contributing, but just commentary on discussions around features or issues, good issues that help us really understand where pain points are. Um, and working with project leaders as well, the independent project leaders that are a big part of the community. So no, I think that would be an awesome addition to the board. What Now? What experience do you have to help people understand how you can make that happen?
Uh, so before the .NET Foundation, which is very geared towards, the promotion of .NET and, its outreach in the community. There was something called INETA, or the International .NET Association, and the purpose of that was to help spread the word of .NET framework, now known as, in the very beginning days, had a lot of the same common missions and common goals that the .NET Foundation has. So I served on the marketing board for that for, I think it was 2 years, where I was helping to get the word out and, work with our sponsors and work to find new sponsors, as well as get user groups, advertisements, and et cetera. After about 2 years of doing that, I ran for the president of it, and I was the president of INETA, the North America chapter, which is responsible for basically all of Mexico, US, and Canada. So I was the president then to help navigate the board and lead all the different committees, like the vice president, treasurer, marketing, technology, to have one cohesive unit around the .NET branding. And I was the president for, I think, 4 years, because we had a 2-term limit, and then moved into vice president, where I assist the president at the time with all the goals of the association. And then INETA, as we know it, stopped about 9 years ago or so. And that's why I think when Microsoft started formulation, the idea of the .NET Foundation, not so much just to help promote, but to make sure it's open source and to steward the growth of .NET.
Okay. Now, from my perspective, having been in the community, then, I more or less equated INETA with the Speakers Bureau. Is it? And I think that was true for a lot of people. Is it more than that? What other things?
So the Speakers Bureau was probably the biggest benefit that a lot of people got from INETA. And, for those of you that don't know what the Speakers Bureau was, essentially there was a group of speakers like Bill, myself, and, countless others. And INETA would help pay for those speakers to get to user groups. So if you ran a small .NET user group in, let's just say, trying to think of a small town, like a Wisconsin, not that Wisconsin, US is a small town, but they might not get a lot of traffic throughout there because it's not a large enough hub of technology to have a constant flow of speakers. INETA would help pay for speakers to go there.
Okay.
But that was one of the benefits. There were other benefits to members of it. It was usually around user groups, where user groups can get sponsorship to help provide pizza or food for their events, or sponsors to help find, like, if a company like Progress Telerik wanted to reach out, we could connect the dots. So I find that there was a lot more than that. We also helped with providing technology infrastructure to user groups. There was not a lot around individual attendees, like users of .NET, outside of providing like a database of user groups in around the world. So if you moved from, let's say, Phoenix, Arizona to London, you can go and find the list of all the user groups in London and get contact with them. So there are a lot of similarities. I think that the biggest difference now is, it's more than just the community aspect. There's the open source aspect, and, helping to foster the ongoing change and to involve more than just the quote unquote Microsoft contingency to contribute to .NET. And what I mean by contribute, it's not just, PRs and stuff, but opening up issues and having those discussions to find the real world needs, or even, an area close to your heart, the documentation, what's needed, what's not, how can we make it better?
Yeah, the docs are open source as well, so people
Yep.
can contribute there or suggest improvements for us as well. Awesome. So, anything else that you want to bring across to everyone, and that you want to
I,
mention? Or
I think Mike covered most of it. I'm super passionate about community. I think I can make a big change with both .NET and the community with some of my experience, knowledge, and connections that I have throughout the world.
sounds fantastic. All right, Joe Guadagno, thank you very much, and we will talk to you soon. And good luck.
Thank you, Bill.